Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at that really powerful solar storm we had
The
recently.
G5 event, yeah. Strongest in over 20 years.
Exactly. And busyseas.com had some interesting points on the impact. So our mission here is, well, to unpack what this actually means for us and our tech without getting bogged down.
Right, because the sun, I mean, it's this incredible engine, right? Over 5,500 degrees C, 4.6 billion years old. It throws a lot of energy our way.
It really does. And this storm on May 10th, 2024, it happened during a readiness drill, ironically enough, was quite the reminder. So, okay, first off, Earth-based tech. What took the hit?
Well, it's interesting. Some reports showed high voltage transformers here in the U.S. were pushed pretty close to their limits.
Close, like
Yeah.
failure close.
Yeah, the induced currents were apparently quite strong. It definitely highlights a vulnerability in the grid.
Mm.
And maybe even more surprising, GPS-guided tractors,
Hmm.
for precision farming.
Oh, yeah. What
It
happened?
started veering off course. Farmers reported, well, significant financial losses because planting wasn't accurate.
Wow. Okay, so it makes you wonder how resilient that precision agriculture stuff really is.
It does. It really does.
And that was just on the ground. What about higher up? The atmosphere, satellites, those orbital lifelines?
Right. Well, the thermosphere, that's the layer way up there where many satellites orbit. It got really hot,
How hot are we talking?
over 1,100 degrees Celsius.
Mm.
And it puffed up, expanded,
Okay, so more atmosphere.
more drag.
Yeah.
Significantly more. Satellites had to burn extra fuel just to,
Mm.
maintain their orbit, fight against it.
Which isn't great for their lifespan, I imagine. Raises concerns about how ready those systems are if this happens more often.
Exactly. How prepared are our orbital lifelines?
Definitely a worry. And speaking of travel, it affected airlines too, didn't it?
Yes. Transatlantic flights, mainly.
Hmm.
They had to reroute, fly at different altitudes or latitudes to avoid potential radiation exposure.
So delays, extra costs.
Uh-huh. Though, interestingly, the astronauts on the space station, they monitored radiation spikes, but they were reported safe.
Okay, safe in low Earth orbit. But what about, say, future commercial flights? Further out. Is the shielding good enough for bigger events?
That is a really important question, especially as we look beyond ALEO.
For sure. Now, it wasn't all bad, I guess. We got some amazing auroras out of it.
Oh, spectacular ones. Really rare magenta colors, apparently seen as far south as Florida.
Florida, wow.
And incredibly high up, too, like 600 miles above Japan.
Yeah.
It's all about the energetic particles hitting different atmospheric gases, oxygen, nitrogen, making them glow.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But a sign of a major disturbance. And it wasn't just Earth feeling this, right? Mars got hit too.
Absolutely. Mars saw global auroras.
Yeah.
And even more telling, star cameras on the rovers there, they flickered out temporarily.
Flickered out because of the storm.
Seems like it. And the Curiosity rover clocked a radiation dose equivalent to, get this, about 30 chest x-rays.
30. Wow. So this reached across the solar system, basically.
It really underscores the scale and power involved.
So this whole event, this Gannon storm, it feels like a bit of a warning shot.
I think that's a good way to put it. It wasn't catastrophic, thankfully, but it definitely exposed weaknesses. Power grids, satellites, GPS, aviation,
Things we rely on every single day.
pretty much everything. It just shows how the sun can still surprise us.
Okay, so boiling it down, what are the key takeaways here? What should we, be thinking about after this?
Well, it really drives home our dependence, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How much we rely on tech that's frankly vulnerable to space weather. We saw potential grid issues, satellite stress, GPS going wonky.
Yeah, the list goes on.
And it forces us to ask some hard questions.
Like, are we actually prepared for the next one? The really big one.
Exactly. Are grids properly hardened? Are satellites shielded enough? Do we have the right procedures? Because another major event isn't an if, it's a when. Are you ready? Well, are we ready? Collectively.
Powerful question. So as we wrap up this deep dive, maybe the thought to leave you with is this. Just how deeply intertwined have our lives become with technology that's susceptible to forces from space? And what steps, proactive ones, do we need to consider personally, nationally, globally to build real long-term resilience against our very active sun? It's definitely more than just science fiction.